Oye, mi gente, if there's one thing we love doing here at Pero Let Me Tell You, it is celebrating our Cuban culture. And that's why we're happy to tell you that Cuba Nostalgia is back in 2022 for its 23rd year. That's right, Cuba Nostalgia, a celebration of the richness of Cuban culture, history, and tradition is back May 21st and May 22nd at the Miami-Dade County Fairgrounds. Come experience the art and exhibits like recreations of classic Cuban landmarks like El Museo de Bellas Artes and El Tropicana, and of course, you know, there's food and Cuban cocktails. I mean, have you ever known Cubans to have an event without comida y trago? Oh, and we almost forgot, there's also free concerts every day. Así que get your tickets today. Just visit cubanostalgia.org to make sure you don't miss out on Cuba Nostalgia May 21st and 22nd. After all, it's more than an event, it's a Cuban experience. It's that time of year again. Time to show Dad you can put more than 10 seconds of thought into his Father's Day gift. Come on. You can definitely do better than mugs or drugstore cologne that smells like 1987. You know what Dad wants? Clothes that let him show off that dad bod he's been working on all winter. That's right. He wants something from the Perfect Jean. Look, you know how much we love the Perfect Jean here at Pero Let Me Tell You, and your dad will too. Not only do they have their classic quality jeans, shorts, and shirts, which let your dad actually move thanks to their patent pending stretch process, which, okay, we don't really know if it's patent pending, but it sounds totally cool. Now they even have jeans made from sustainable recycled materials because Dad always taught you never to let anything go to waste. You know what else Dad taught you? To always get the best price. So use promo code TELL20, that's TELL 20 at theperfectjean.nyc for 20% off your first order. That's right, TELL20 gets you 20% off all their items. So this Father's Day, those boring khakis and show your dad he can look and feel good in a pair of jeans thanks to the Perfect Jean. And don't forget to use code TELL20 for 20% off your order. Hell, might even make you his favorite kid.
Hey everyone, this is DJ.
And this is Ish.
And this is Season 5 of Pero Let Me Tell You.
Well, we're recording.
We are?
We are recording. And from where are we recording from?
Live from the fabulous... No, I mean, from Dos Croquetas.
Yeah, well, it's a fabulous Dos Croquetas.
Well, I was going with the Alibaba Hotel and Casino in Lake Tahoe.
Not the Alibaba Hotel and Casino, no.
From Dos Croquetas.
No.
So, welcome everybody to episode...
I believe this is episode 204.
204 of Pero Let Me Tell You. And we are live at Dos Croquetas. Say hi, everyone!
Yep.
Woo! So we are doing a live recording. So to that person who asked us in our 200th episode, when are we doing another live recording? Well, here you go.
Yep. And I don't think that person who asked it is here.
Right. and we have some special guests. My parents are here.
Yes, his parents are here.
And I'm going to try to, ask them about the cake debacle. We have old friends from high school.
Well, they're not old friends.
Well, not age, of course. We graduated high school
10 minutes ago,
although it's been 2 decades and more, but we're only 35.
Yeah.
We were the Doogie Howser MDs of our era. Yes. So, and we have a lot of friends and family here. So thank you everybody for coming out.
Everyone for coming out.
So,
all right.
So yeah, this is as live as it gets.
Yes. How is your week going so far?
My week is my week. It's always...
Your week is your week?
My week is my week. It's always,
That sounds like the beginning of an R&B song.
I wake up every morning and I look at my calendar and I'm like, what the WTF? How are we going to get through this today? But, we're here.
Well, it can't be worse than mine. I have comegenes.
You have comején?
Yeah.
Okay, comején sounds so much worse in Spanish than it does in English.
I know. Right? To say you have termites is like
termites
whatever.
Just sounds like, a...
Like a bug.
A bug. But metaphorically, a bug. Something that will come and go. Right. Whereas comején sounds like...
It sounds pretty, like, acute.
Yeah. Like comején. ¿Te van a poner la carpa?
La carpa? No. They're not putting la carpa. Unfortunately, it is only in my apartment.
Oh, so you could infest the whole apartment
Yeah,
building.
so I'm gonna be the apartment, not me, is gonna be fumigated.
So let's talk a little bit about el comején.
El comején, okay.
So how is it that it's just in your apartment?
You know, that's a very good question because we all have wooden floors and Jose doesn't have any in his.
Right.
So I think there's like a little, because they're gonna go also.
What does he have, linoleum?
No. He doesn't have comején in his apartment.
Oh.
So I think because the exterminators when they come are gonna go under the building.
Oh.
So I think it's probably because I might have like a little crack open somewhere.
Un sótano.
Well, no, not me so much as like the building has a platform.
Those old buildings, they're sort of on stilts.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that it's like, okay, that's where they hide the bodies.
Right. Oh, I hope they don't find a body. Although I kind of do.
No, because then they have to excavate, and they might be under your apartment, and then
So many things.
They have to trench your apartment, and that's not going to be fun.
No, but then I get to pick who plays me on Law and Order.
Oh, okay, that's
See?
all true.
I was thinking.
So no le van a poner la capa del edificio. It's funny because when my parents' house used to get comején every 7.5 years.
That is a very precise term.
Yeah, it was like 7.5 years. Like, I'm totally not kidding. Like, it was like the first time it was like 1984, and then it was like June of 1991, and then it was like like January of 1999. Like, it was like every 7.5 years. And it was great because every time que le ponían la capa a la casa, we would go to like stay at Miami Beach.
Well, that's what I was going to do. I was like, okay, if they got to put the capa, I'm totally just we're going to rent out a beach hotel and make a weekend out of it.
No, that's what you do. And
Yeah.
you take a little week excursion.
Have you noticed though that nobody ever puts la capa on like a Tuesday?
No. You I'm surprised that somebody hasn't made a lechon, for like a capa.
Okay,
we're having a tent party.
We're having a tent party. We're
That,
popping bottles.
Even that doesn't sound as dramatic
as la carpa.
Oh, they're tenting my house. No, van a poner
La carpa.
Yeah, it sounds so much more dramatic. It's like it's funny because I remember when I was a kid, like really small, I used to think that when they would tent your house, like the ponían la carpa, that it would be like the circus was coming.
Aww.
And it's like, oh no.
Well, let me tell you something.
It's not only the killing termites, but there's so many people who
I wouldn't be
died.
surprised, though, now if they put la capa, Britney Spears shows up.
Why?
Ay, because está loca pa'l carajo. She'd probably be
Well,
like, it's a circus!
Well, she had a tough week or 2 weeks ago. She miscarried.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Well, you say that as like in passing, like, oh yeah, it's true. She
That's
she miscarried. True. That's a big trauma.
That is a big trauma.
That's a really big problem. She probably should have had a little bit more discretion in terms of how quickly she made that public.
But we all get happy.
We all get happy, and being that there's other issues that have been going on in her life, she gets a free pass.
She gets to be happy.
Yeah. I she was born to make us happy.
That's true. She was born to make us happy, so it's only right. It's only right.
So anyway.
That's accurate.
So what else is going on this week?
Well,
and how is everybody, by the way?
So, okay, how's everybody doing? Is everybody good?
They're all eating croquetas.
Everybody all right? They're all eating the delicious croquetas, and they're also drinking the Jupiña lit slushies.
Yeah, the thing here about Dos Croquetas.
Have you seen the cubo that I'm drinking from?
Yes, Dos Croquetas, which is on Bird Road off of 107th and Bird Road in the center of Westchester, is that, yes, of course, they have amazing croquetas. They won Croqueta Palooza in 2019, which we were the host.
With that feat of sorcery, the Medianoche Croqueta.
Yeah, the Medianoche Croqueta, I'm pretty sure they just get a whole Medianoche, they put it in a blender and call it a day. But people don't tell their secrets.
No. I think they're wizards.
When I have their Medianoche Croqueta, I feel like one of these like ritzy wine people, like, ooh, I could taste the sandalwood. No, with the croqueta, I'm like, I could taste the pickle. Here comes the mustard. Here comes. I feel like this girl in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. She's like, it's a meatloaf dinner. Oh, now dessert.
You're like a croqueta sommelier.
Yeah, but things didn't end well for her. She turned into a blueberry.
They'd probably turn that into a croqueta too.
So, anyway, whatever. That movie is so messed up. Have we really talked about...
You think?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because, like...
Listen, Willy Wonka's this close to being a serial killer.
It's not that. Okay, no, it is that. But I just think that the first movie, I freaking love it. When they go in the boat ride, I mean...
Hello, le cortan la cabeza a una gallina.
It is horrible and fantastic at the same time. It's like classic cinema. It's like perfect. It's such a great movie.
It is.
It's such a great movie.
So, speaking of cinema, can we talk for a little bit about the shit show that is the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial?
You know what's funny? We had been getting some feedback in the last few weeks of people that are like, why haven't you talked about this? And I don't know, why haven't we talked about this before?
Well, Roe versus Wade, that took precedence.
No, but you know what? I feel, and it's funny because even me, so coming from the law and understanding how law works, this trial has gone on for a long time. I mean, usually trials have a 5 to 7 week trial period, but usually a trial doesn't. Well, I mean, unless it's like a big capital punishment.
No, right.
Capital crime trial
situation,
or like murder or something like that. But usually trials don't last an entire trial period. They'll last a couple of weeks at most.
Right.
But this is going on, 5-6 weeks?
Is it already there?
Is it already there? I feel it's been going on all this year. Like,
I don't know. It feels like one of those celebrity pregnancies that goes on for 10 years.
Well, Rihanna gave birth this week.
She
so
did give birth this week.
but that pregnancy didn't feel.
I feel like she announced her pregnancy and gave birth in the span of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial lasts longer than Rihanna's pregnancy.
So you wanted to bring it up? What is it that you?
I'm just saying, like, it's weird to me how this has become something that we've become embroiled in. Right. Like, that has become, like, they're live streaming it. There's updates. There's reports. There's people with, and at the end of the day, it's a divorce trial.
It's a
No.
trial.
But for all intents and purposes, it's defamation. But what I mean is it's two exes essentially bringing
because I think that it's a situation where you're talking about, a very. Like, Johnny Depp is a very famous celebrity, and I didn't really know her before all this happened.
Oh, yeah.
But you're talking about two people that are in the public eye, and this is not speculation. This is not, a blogger talking about this. This is like coming out of them in real time.
Right.
Like, they're airing their dirty laundry for the world to see. Again, this is not coming from a third party. This is
it's not a blind item.
A source,
Right.
Whenever you read
the
something
source.
from Us Weekly, a source says, this is them telling the world their side of the story and, backing it up with, like, texts and videos and stuff
Doctor's
like that.
reports.
So, it's not always you don't always see public figures air out their dirty laundry to the degree that they have. My only thing with it is that I wonder, especially for Johnny Depp, since he is the one
the bigger name,
defamation, but he's the one who filed the defamation case. If he knew it was going to be so public, that is the part that I don't know. I don't know how to gauge it, because this has become like, up there in
you want to talk about a circus,
right? Up there in the realm of like the most public trials we've had in the last 30, 40 years, I would say. And so I just wonder if he, obviously he knew it was going to get a certain amount of press attention, but I wonder if he really understood the degree that this was going to be public and that everybody was going to be talking about it.
Do you have an opinion one way or the other on this? Because I feel like she's been getting the brunt of it. And maybe part of that is because she's the lesser known. As you said, you didn't really know who she was. Maybe that's a part of it because people see her in the role of gold digger or what have you.
I think that these were obviously two people in a very, very toxic relationship.
Yeah, same.
To say the least.
Same, yeah.
I don't think it's a situation of one was good and the other one was bad, or, one was the aggressor and the other one was a victim. I think they were both aggressors and I think they were both victims.
Yeah. These are people who should not have been together.
They should have not been together. It was really toxic. I think that, especially because in the Me Too era, especially, we talked, we listen to women. We have to listen to women.
Right.
It's the right thing to do, and we have to understand that women for so long were abused and victimized and didn't speak up about it. That in this particular case, originally when all these allegations were made, it's easy to believe that she was the victim. Because Johnny Depp, it's not like Johnny Depp had this really clean reputation. I mean,
but he was with the same woman for years, and she never had any situation to report of.
But
so
Johnny Depp didn't have like the most pristine situation.
He's not Tom Hanks,
right? So exactly. So I think that, especially in this day and age, that women are finally speaking up about it. Right. It was very reasonable and easy to believe her in this particular sense initially when she made these allegations. But now that this defamation case came around and they're showing video. They're showing video. They're showing text.
Yeah.
They're showing that, and you see, okay, well, she also wasn't
She's not what they call the ideal victim.
right. I think she is a victim. Right. But I think, as I said, I think they're both aggressors and I think they're both victims. And it's just a really bad situation. It's really toxic. They should have not, clearly they should have not been together.
No. And look at us working 2 Britney songs into one episode.
What?
Toxic and Circus. Because that's what we do. Let me tell you.
He hit her one more time.
He did hit her one more time.
And that drove her crazy.
And he hit her one more time sometimes. She was not so lucky.
Oops, he did it again.
Oops, he did it again. There we go. Just racking up the hits.
But she knew that he was a womanizer.
This is true. This is very true.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
This is what we do on this show, all right, people?
Let me tell you at times. But
all right.
So
I saw a story the other day that actually it's funny because I get served lately on Facebook these random, stories you may like or what have you, right? And I saw this one story that I thought, okay, they're an Indian couple, but they could very well easily set a precedent if this goes global for Cuban American parents, Jewish parents, Italian parents. So
should I brace for impact?
Brace for impact. A retired Indian couple, in India, is suing their son and daughter-in-law, demanding that they produce a grandchild within a year or pay them 50 million rupees, which is $675,000. So they are alleging, so here's a quote. We want a grandson or a granddaughter within a year or compensation because I have spent my life's earnings on my son's education. The main issue is that at this age, we need a grandchild, but these people, my son and daughter-in-law, have an attitude that they don't think about us.
Wow. I don't know how to respond to that.
That's very...
I don't know how to respond to that.
You can see why I think this is a bad precedent for Cuban parents.
Well, Cuban parents already do that. They just don't sue you.
Right.
They just sit you down and tell you, why haven't you given me a grandkid? That is the point of your life, to give me a grandkid.
But that's why I say Cuban, Jewish parents, Italian parents,
Well, look, I'm gonna... I don't want to make a comment because, obviously...
It's our show. Make a comment.
Indian culture is very different,
right?
Okay,
we can't speak to the cultural.
But the customs in Indian culture of arranged marriages and things like that.
Fair enough, but what are you going to do if she doesn't get pregnant?
Well,
that's biology.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that it's very different culturally in terms of how you got married, to whom you got married, when you have kids, if things like that.
Right.
But what I think is interesting in that case is the whole, we put you through college.
Right, was that the agreement? Was there a contract?
It's like, I think that if you put somebody through, I would understand more if, they were saying, well, I put you through college, so now take care of me, help me out a bit.
Right, pay for my rent.
Right, not, I put you through college.
Get me a grandkid. Right.
Clearly this is very important to them. I just think it's really annoying when people make those questions because something that I just don't ask anymore. I don't ask people, especially women. Mm-hmm. I will never ask a woman, if she's of a certain age, when are you going to have kids, right?
There's a difference between when you're going to have kids and do you want to have kids.
Right, but
right.
But nobody asks, do you want to have children? No, it's always but why haven't you had kids yet, right?
Right.
It's like an interrogation of the poor girl.
Right.
And then what I think is even worse is when you finally do have a kid, they're immediately asking you, so when are you going to have another one? It's are you going to pay my bills?
And then after the second one, it's, when are you just going to die?
It's
because that's all that's left.
Calm down.
Yeah, calm down, Mita and Jose.
Yeah. Pero cuando te vas a una hermanita, are you going to do my taxes? And of course, there's just so many. You don't know if they have fertility
but
issues.
That was my first thought.
It could be a million things. Maybe they just don't want one.
Well, in that case, then they may have to pay the $50 million.
I don't know. I don't know the legal system in India because I'm going to take like an
your bar doesn't cover India.
Take like an educated guess. I mean, because India was a British colony. I don't know if India's law is based on common law, which is British. American law is based on common law.
You know what? But that's a good assumption.
Which is British, and the Magna Carta and all that.
Right.
This is the learn part of this section.
This is the learn part
of the show. So I don't know what type of structure India has legally, but I would tell you that if that happened in the United States, I just don't see how that can fly. You don't have a contract. There's not a meeting of the minds.
That's not part of your student loan. It would not surprise me, honestly, if Fannie Mae is like, once you either give me a grandchild or pay off your student loan.
Oh, Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae haunts me.
But doesn't Fannie Mae sound like some type of demented grandmother who's going to come after you?
No, Fannie Mae sounds like a woman who makes pies. Delicious strawberry rhubarb pie.
But an older lady who makes the pies.
She owns my soul in student loans. Oh, La Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. No, but Freddie Mac is for loans.
Aren't they? But they're both for loans.
No, for mortgage.
Oh, okay.
Mortgage loans.
Freddie and Fannie. Who came up with those names?
I don't know.
I mean, clearly white people.
I don't know. But that's a good one. I feel I should know this.
You're going to have to look into that one.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. We know things can feel overwhelming, from jobs to family to relationships, even finances. And despite the stigma from Hispanic families about airing our dirty laundry, we can all use someone to talk to during those moments of stress. Well, we're here to remind you that there's no shame in admitting that you need to speak with someone to work towards improving mental well-being. That's where BetterHelp comes in to, help. A customized online therapy provider, they offer therapy options on your time, whether it's via phone, video, text, or even live chat sessions with a therapist. BetterHelp's customized approach matches you with a therapist in under 48 hours, based on what you're experiencing, to help you better understand yourself. And as a special offer for PLMTY listeners, you can get 10% off your first month of professional therapy at betterhelp.com/pero. It's already more affordable than in-person therapy, and now you can save on your first month. Everyone deserves to be happy, and BetterHelp has helped millions take their first step on that path. That's betterhelp.com/pero. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this podcast episode. Okay, so I kind of wanted to bring up something really quickly.
Okay. Which never happens on this show.
This is not a topic per se, but I just want to get a little bit of a feedback from our listeners.
Okay. Maybe some of our listeners here.
So, actually, I'm going to make this question. Hey, everyone. Have you guys gotten a text in the last month or two? What?
About Dr. David?
No, about have you gotten any text in the last month or two about having something to do with an animal or a vet? I'm trying to contact my vet.
I got one. I got one the other day that said, Dr. David, my dog has indigestion problems or what have you. And I replied back, I'm like, I think you got the wrong number, but hope your dog's okay. And we went back and forth a couple times, and eventually she's like, you seem very friendly. Would you like to be a friend? And I was like, you know what? I don't need this in my life.
So I've had it twice already happen that it's the entry point is it's an animal.
So no one else here has gotten this other than us.
I actually have one.
All right, I'm not even going to ask what the other types are that he's gotten.
You know what? I actually deleted it yesterday. But I got one. So I have gotten the animal one.
Okay,
the animal one. I've gotten. That's why when you said that the other day, I didn't text you back because I was busy. But when you said that the other day, I'm like, oh, that's a scam. I've already gotten twice. I'm taking my dog to the vet. Jack, are you there? The one I got this week was Preston. It was Preston. Hey, Preston. Who knows? Trust me, I don't know anybody named Preston.
Well, but you went to law school with white people, so maybe.
No, they're more Preston. Anyway, it was Preston, I'm on my way to pick you up. What restaurant are you at again? And I responded back, and I said, I'm at Chi-Chi's. You know what restaurant Chi-Chi's is, right?
Yes.
That closed.
Doesn't exist?
People died of, I think it was it salmonella or something? Or they got hepatitis. Like, it was bad. Like, they died. And she was like, oh, yeah, which one? Like, she was like, where is that at? And I'm like, oh, I started making it up. I'm like, oh, it's 1456 Hagedorn Street. Remember when
Hagedorn, yes,
Street
yes.
at the corner of Frandor. You know?
And now she's in Middle Earth.
Right, and then I got the same exact response you did. Oh, you seem like a really nice person. My name is Emily. Do you want to be friends?
Oh, mine was Anna.
Oh, mine was Emily. So, and I was like, sure.
What was the picture?
No, she didn't send me a picture.
Oh, mine had a picture. It was an Asian lady.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, I get those on WhatsApp, too. So I'm here thinking, like, okay, who falls for that? Like, really? Like, who falls for that? You know why?
I went back and forth a bit because I was concerned about the dog, you know. But when she turned around and was like, "You seem really friendly. Want to be friends?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I have enough. Thanks."
The thing is that it's like, who falls for that? Because I know there's a lot of predatory like people out there, especially to like older people.
Yes, that's true.
That is very bad. But usually people that are like this tech savvy or whatever are younger demographic.
Right.
Even people in their 60s, that are not going to fall for that.
Right, you would hope.
It's like, I mean, do you think I'm going to fall for that? That's why it's fun to kind of go along with it.
You should have told her you were at Tabasco's.
Oh, yeah? I'll be like, so, Emily, how are you? How are you, Emily?
For those listeners who don't know, Tabasco's is a restaurant that Darian made up.
Yeah. When people are like...
To the point where he even has a menu
I have a menu
it.
of Tabasco's. And like people are... Or like when we're like all together, it's like, oh, let's go somewhere to eat. And people are like seriously like giving places. I'm like, oh, let's go to Tabasco's. I hear they have a great new chimichanga with some queso fresco on it.
Next time you should tell her Tabasco's. I'm telling you. Send her to Tabasco's.
Well, I mean, I did send her to a defunct restaurant.
Well, but she found it.
1456 Hagedorn.
Yes,
in France.
In a place that doesn't exist.
That was like one of the funny moments. So it's a DJ and Ish story. When I lived up in Michigan, one day I was on the phone with him.
He said Michigan.
I was on the phone with him, and he's like, very casually, he's like, oh, what are you up to? And I'm like, no, here I'm driving. He's like, where
are you? Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm in the intersection of Hagedorn and Frandor. And there's this intersection called Hagedorn Street and Frandor Avenue. And he's like, where are you, Middle Earth or something?
Like, are you with the fucking hobbits? Like, what is this? Like,
I'm in the intersection of Frandor and Hagedorn.
Oh, simpler times. Simpler times.
That's an understatement.
So, did you hear about the new Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition cover model?
I have.
You have?
Yes.
Did you hear about the fact that there's some Canadian asshole who essentially looks like the generic villain on Degrassi who has quit Twitter because, he made a comment and now he can't take the heat, so he got out of the kitchen?
Okay. I forget. What is the model's name?
So I have this in my phone. One moment, because that's how we roll here. So her name is Yumi Nu. She is half Japanese, and she's considered a curve model because she's a full-figured gal, but she's pretty, she's cute, Again, taking into account that everybody's version of what they are attracted to or find beautiful varies. What you think is hot is not necessarily what I think is hot, but it's not. It's beauty subjective, right? At the end of the day.
Right.
Well, this guy, Jordan Peterson, who is a clinical psychologist and, of course, conservative online personality, posted a picture of her cover. The New York Post, tweeted out her cover, and he posted, he's like, sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that.
Okay.
And then he started getting responses about that, and he left Twitter because in his mind, let me see, what is it he said?
Did it just get dark in here?
It did get dark in here. It's not. You were not having a stroke.
Welcome to Pero Let Me Tell You After Dark.
So he said the endless flood of vicious insult is really not something that can be experienced anywhere else, he tweeted before announcing his departure from the app, which, we always call Twitter a cesspool here, so welcome to the world.
His comment again?
His comment, he retweeted a picture, the picture of the cover.
Okay.
Sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. And then he further he further replied on top of that, saying, he responded to his original tweet, writing that progressives are trying to, quote unquote, retool the notion of beauty.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, we should be retooling the notion of beauty.
Okay, I'm just trying to like gather all that in.
We should be retooling the notion of beauty. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you.
Well, I
Who
would
are you to
respond
say
to
what's,
him.
what's
I would
beautiful or
respond
not?
to him.
You may not think somebody's
You said
cute.
that he's a conservative.
First of all, he's a clinical psychologist.
Okay, well,
so
no, I'm going to go.
Don't go to him.
I'm going with the conservative. So I would probably say that if he's conservative to that degree, he's probably very like.
Well, he's Canadian too.
Okay, well, but he's probably very classic conservative and like free enterprise and the free market. So Sports Illustrated is its own business, and it
can do whatever the fuck it wants.
It can do whatever it wants. If it wants to put Marge Simpson on the cover, it
that
can.
should be 2024.
That is a good idea.
That
right?
should be it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They should just do all the animated hot babes.
They could put
Daria
they want on the cover, and if it's a trans model, they put a trans model. That's their decision to put it. I mean,
this is not a trans model.
I thought it was a trans model.
No, she's a curve model. She's a full-figured gal. I think last year was a trans model.
I thought it was a trans model.
No. As far as I know, she's half Japanese and just a big gal. But she's not a trans. Trust me, that would have been like the lead if she was.
Yeah. Well, okay, I take that back.
Yeah. But to your point, it doesn't matter.
Well, they should put whoever
Where the
they
fuck
want
they
on the
want.
cover. I mean, he got okay. I'm gonna go out and say here. I'm looking at her now.
That's not her.
That's not her. Wait.
No. I'll show you the picture
let me
of
get
her.
the right picture.
I'll show you the picture
Sports
here.
Illustrated.
This is her. Here. This is her.
Okay, swimsuit 2022.
Yes.
Okay, let me take a look at
Yeah.
it. Oh, I'm actually looking at the trans model from last year.
That's why I'm like, I believe the trans model was trans is so last year, Darian.
No.
This year it's about half Japanese, full-figured models.
Okay, let's look at her. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
She's cute. She looks like
She looks like Olivia Wilde.
she looks like a real woman you would see at the beach.
Exactly. You know? I mean, I don't know. Maybe his ideal is, palo escoba like Ann Coulter. I don't know.
Well, he's just a horrible human being. I mean, look, whenever you have these, I mean, look, it's all. Es cuando la gente quiere hablar mierda, right? Because look, some years back, Beyonce was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I believe.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she was the first celebrity,
not a model. Right.
To be on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and Beyonce is a full-figured woman. I mean,
she's an average woman.
She has the jelly. So
we were not ready for it. That's the problem.
Are you going to say that a woman that looks like Beyonce should not be on the cover of Sports Illustrated? I mean, I think a lot of people would have a problem with that. As far as this, lady goes. I mean, I think that she looks like a real woman.
And she's pretty.
And from what I'm seeing here, she's not airbrushed.
No.
That's a
win.
That's a win.
Yeah.
And good for them. Good for them. And, good for women. I mean, this is just... This is a topic, maybe you and I are not we're both guys. We're not the best people to take up that space.
Yes and no. But you know what? Men suffer from body dysmorphia images, too.
Right,
so, I mean...
You can't compare the body dysmorphia images of men to women. Because women...
As a gay man, I beg to differ.
Right, but there's a standard of beauty for women that is... It's just completely different than... men, whatever type of man you are. Women for so long and still are subject to that, for so many years they've been saying, women aren't thin, women,
you're too thin, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that,
but they've been saying that for decades now, but still they choose women that have a certain weight and certain proportions for whether it's advertisement or movies or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, are we really making progress? Are we or are we not?
A lot. It could be lip service, I guess. You could
I think a lot of it is lip service. So good for them because the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
It is a very big deal. So for them to put, again, it's not even a full-figured woman. It's like, this is not photoshopped. Because just the Photoshop,
you can tell
out of hand. It's out of hand. You and I were talking about this. Now that we're talking
about
Photoshop.
Tú dices que Khloe Kardashian looks like a composite human being.
When I saw Khloe Kardashian It's Chloe, right? In
Yeah.
that commercial for the migraine thing.
No, her migraines
looks
are
CGI.
Her migraines are so bad that she turned into another person.
Like she looks CGI. Like her daughter looks human or looks real, but she looks CGI. Like when I first saw her, I was like, I mean,
Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk looks more realistic than
I was like,
Chloe.
wow. And you and I were talking about that the other day, not on the podcast.
Yes.
Not recording. We were talking about like someone like Madonna, that like
Yeah.
her pictures are so photoshopped that I think she looks younger than she did when she came out. And it's like, okay, who are you really fooling? Like,
Right.
do you really think that we think this?
Right.
I mean,
Who's looking at this and going like,
I-
oh, she's in her 60s. She clearly has no frown lines.
I could understand like,
we're being brought croquetas.
I mean,
Life just got better. That's all
life
I'm saying.
is good. I mean, croquetas.
thank you.
And
Croquetas and slushies and good company. I mean,
thank you, los croquetas.
yeah, thank you. Legit. You're taking a picture?
Yeah.
All
taking
right.
a picture. But what I was saying was, somebody like her, one of the most high-profile women.
Oh my
we're
God.
getting more goodies.
Chicharrones.
One of the most
Queso frito. Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's queso frito, chicharrones, and tostones in front of us,
And
my friend.
croquetas.
And croquetas. I mean, embarrassment of riches. Thank
Yeah.
you, the croquetas.
Yeah.
That was very sweet of you.
It's like, who do you think you're fooling? Because one thing is for you to do like a little touch up here, or like
I love nip and tuck.
right? But another thing is for you to Photoshop a picture so much. It's like nobody believes that. Like,
Again, you look CGI.
like
The
if
people
you-
in Avatar look more human.
But like in the case of Madonna, if you're 63 and you look 23, yeah,
You don't.
people are gonna question that.
Right.
Just saying.
The
Just
only
saying.
person who that could still actually be applied to, though, is Jared Leto.
No,
Jared Leto's in his 50s.
No, I have one better.
Gang.
Christy Brinkley.
That's true.
Christy Brinkley, if making a pact with the devil is real,
She did
made
it.
one.
She did it.
made one because I think her daughters are catching up to her. Like her daughters look her age. Like, and the thing about her is that like she comes out on the Today Show
Oh, okay.
every now and then.
Yeah.
And, and that's live television.
Yeah, you can't hide
You
it.
can't hide in it. And she looks fresh. You know what I mean? She looks,
As opposed to most celebrities that look...
she doesn't look like a
Empecudillo,
housewife.
like
she doesn't
what?
look like a housewife.
Oh, okay. There's no Lisa Rinna.
I'm sure she's had work done. I mean, whatever. But
But it's not crazy.
But it's like, oh shit. She's like in her mid 60s, and she looks, 40, 40 pico.
If you told me Christy Brinkley was 47, I believe you.
And then I'd be like, shit. But like, she was Uptown Girl, and I was a kid, and now I'm in my 40s. Like, time is not passing.
I'm
here,
closer to
know?
her age now when she was the Uptown Girl.
No, I think we're older than her when
Yes.
she was the Uptown Girl. She was probably in her 30s.
If
yeah,
not.
yeah. The early 80s were 40 years ago, my friend.
Oh, my God.
What's that meme that says real friends don't tell you that 1980 was 40 years ago? I still think it was 20 years ago. Why is it that we always think about in the terms of like 2000, right?
I think it's because, like,
1990 to me was 10 years ago.
maybe it's like a Y2K thing where I didn't update.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could be it. That could be what happened.
So, you want something?
You want something, buddy?
What do you want?
What do you want? Which
can
one?
have one.
Take it.
I'm not sure what he took. He took like una papa rellena.
No, Chico, that was the street corn one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we actually we have Tristan here with us today.
Yes. Part of the
ensemble.
So now that we're here at Dos Croquetas,
Yes.
a local restaurant, and
Very popular, happening spot.
you know what? I would say that Dos Croqueta is. I would say this is artisanal because
For sure.
it's they make things from scratch and things like that.
I've been to the factory.
You haven't. I haven't.
I know.
Oh.
I got them very fresh right off
Yeah.
the assembly line.
Yeah, that having more time always, you get to have more fun than me. But
true.
anyway, so I was thinking.
Well, that's because you were trying to avoid being sued by your parents.
sued by my parents.
So you had
Oh,
you
yeah,
gave them a
yes,
grandkid,
yes.
and now you have to take care of the grandkid.
Yes, of course. That's why. Anyway, so I was thinking the whole like restaurant debate of like
What's the debate?
the whole thing of independent restaurants versus chains.
Okay.
Let's talk about chain restaurants for a minute.
Well, we love us an Olive Garden
Right.
and
So-
a Cheesecake Factory.
So why do you think? Because I was really thinking about this, and listeners, we would love to hear your take on this. why do you think that why do you think chain restaurants get such a bad rap? And why do you think that when somebody says, oh, my favorite restaurant is whatever, you know, that's a chain restaurant, they get such pushback? It's
So-
like mencionándole la madre, you know? It's like if you say I love the Olive Garden, it's like
You might. It's like communism.
Yes, yeah.
So I think it's a combination of comegenes, first of all, because, you know, there's always those people who are just like, oh, you like blah blah, and, you know, not the elderberry from a top mount, you know, Swiss Alps or whatever bullshit. Like, you know, there's always that level of comegenes. But I also think that there is something to be said. You know, we love us some chain restaurants. But there is something to be said, and I kind of get it. It's comfort food, definitely. But there's nothing special about it. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day. At the end of the day, there's nothing unique because they have to... No, there's nothing unique in the sense that... Yeah, sure. In the sense that they have to create mass quantities. So there's not a uniqueness, like a dos croquetas or a sandwich or, you know, a night owl.
Right, but can't we love both?
Oh, no, you can.
Right, because let me tell you something. When they bring me out
I mean,
a basket,
you can like Lady Gaga
of
and Madonna.
warm Cheddar Bay biscuits, I don't care what your little thing is. I don't care what your little thing is. You know, those Cheddar Bay biscuits from the Red Lobster are freaking crack.
Well, that's why Beyonce's still with Jay-Z.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's the only reason.
Didn't actually, I'm totally not kidding. Didn't, like, stock in Red Lobster increase when Beyonce, like, professed her love?
It did.
Didn't it?
It did.
Like, especially among millennials and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Because you know what the thing is?
You know what? Millennials son la culpa.
Because
they're the ones who are all about like the craft
it
and
it happens on both ends, right? Because sometimes you go to like independent restaurants, like small restaurants, and people are like, "Oh my god, you gotta try the whatever,"
Right.
And then you try the whatever, and I'm like,
It's
"This
good,
is great."
but,
Like,
yeah.
"Oh, it's good."
It's no better or worse than anything else. Yeah.
Like, I remember somebody who was like, "Oh, you gotta go to this place because their dumplings are like handmade and you know whatever and da da da." And I had their dumplings, and I'm like, they were good.
They were good, but
Well, they're not any better than, and I love me a dumpling. They weren't any better than any dumpling.
the average dumpling anywhere
like I
else.
can make at home that I buy frozen, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's like both ends. I think sometimes people think like, oh, dos croquetas is legit as fuck and delicious.
and we'll fight anybody who says otherwise.
But what I'm saying is that I think sometimes people
I'm totally having a queso frito
just
right now.
people sometimes just go in like saying like with a preconceived like mentality of like, oh, you know, because this is an independent restaurant.
That's
it
what I'm
must be
saying.
Amazing.
La comegenes. That's
Yeah.
what. That's,
and it's
that's
like
it.
people. I've said this before on the show, and I'm going to say it again. Okay. When you go to the Olive Garden, you know that it's not authentic Italian food.
It's
like,
not?
Like,
But when you're there, you're
I
family.
think that's true. I think everybody knows that the Olive Garden is not authentic Italian food. You go for what it is. You go for the breadsticks. You go for the soup, the salad, whatever.
There's
it
a
is you
couple
like.
that seems to be having a total argument about Olive Garden right now.
What do you guys think about the Olive Garden?
He won't
Really?
go.
We'll take you.
Yeah, come with us.
Really? Okay, why are you... Okay, this is what we're talking about.
This is
why
what we
do
do
you
live.
hate the Olive Garden?
Or why are you anti-Olive Garden? So you're from the mid. They don't do Olive Garden in the Midwest. So you're like, no, you had enough of it. So you left those roots behind. You burned them. You're done.
Well, because you
Okay.
know what, though? If you would have told me, like, if you're... where in the Midwest are you from? Oh, Kansas. Oh, the heart of the Midwest. Because, like, for example, in Michigan, there was a lot of Mediterranean food because Michigan has, like, a really large Muslim population. So they have, like, really good food that's Mediterranean. But Italian, you know, not as much, I guess.
Yeah. I can't imagine that many mom and pop Italian joints in Kansas.
Like, I would, like,
There are. Oh, okay.
Or like if you were like from New York City and you know your nonna had a restaurant in Little Italy, like maybe, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing about the Olive Garden, like you know what you're going in for, right? The expectation there's a middle bar. the bar is not very high, right?
It's a low bar, but it's there.
But it's there.
But it's there.
But it's there. That's like, for example, we're not gonna get a sponsorship from Subway, so I'm just gonna say this. I think
not anymore.
I think subs from Subway are crap. But sometimes I get a craving for a Subway sub.
With that said,
that is what I want.
Jimmy John's, we like you. I
want to taste the bread. All the breads are different, but they all taste the same, right? The
Subway subs have a taste.
Yes.
Doesn't matter which one you order, it tastes
their
like Subway.
turkey and their ham and their roast beef taste the same. When you put in the cheese in the oven thing, it disintegrates, it disappears. Yeah, like of how hot it. But and their subs suck, but sometimes you want that crappy sub. So I feel the same way about the
Olive Garden. Wow, that is damning them with fake praise if I ever heard it.
I think their Alfredo sauce is pretty good.
I just love the
really
endless breadsticks and salad. Like I could go there and just eat that, and I'm good.
And you know what? Their tiramisu actually is pretty legit because it's it's like 2/3 mascarpone, which is. But
Tú sabes que tiramisu is one of those things that I like, but I don't like.
Oh no, I love. I lament the closing of Macaroni Grill in Kendall Drive.
Are they still around in general?
No, they really scaled back. I think there's some in Orlando, but the one here in Miami, the one in Kendall Drive, and the one in Doral closed.
Oh,
yeah, pandemic.
So they're only in Doral, like La Ponderosa.
Like La Ponderosa.
La Ponderosa.
Actually, it's so funny. La Ponderosa. That is like the worst food there is. Like the steak from Ponderosa has a very specific like flavor.
Texture.
But sometimes it's like I kind of want their crappy rubbery steak.
Why would you ever crave rubbery steak?
Oh, really? Because your food,
But I would never say it's rubbery.
You eat Little Debbie snacks.
I love me some Little Debbie.
I mean, does Little Debbie snacks even have flour in it? I mean, because I'm pretty sure
need flour.
I'm pretty sure it's synthetic.
Who cares? It's sugar and yum.
And you like the zebra cakes.
No, I do not like the zebra cakes.
Oh, but you like the
I do not. No, I will. Those are fighting words. I like the Swiss cake rolls.
Ooh.
Whatever. You don't like Oreos. You're like borderline communist.
Don't say that. People already say that about me because I'm progressive.
Oh, that's true. And your parents are here.
Yes.
I shouldn't say that out loud. Yeah.
And I have to fight that image. So, whatever. Anyway, speaking of
communism. Okay.
So today I actually saw something that I think is sacrilege, and I think that this person should be set right and put to jail.
I thought you were going to say set on fire.
No, pa tanto. So as you guys know, if you've been listening to us from the beginning, I don't drink coffee. I had my first shot of Cuban coffee
on air
with Colada Boys, and even I was offended at this.
Okay.
So there's this.
As I sit here eating croquetas.
There is this
what is it, a TikTok or a reel?
No, yeah, this TikTok or reel, whatever, from goldenbrown.coffee. Okay. And the guy is like, today we're going to make cafe cubano. And you know how I feel about when they say cubano. I'm having a cubano sandwich. It's
Set
like nobody
on fire.
says that. It's
Set
Cuban
on fire.
sandwich. Like, I'm having a cubano. It's like nobody says that, people. Anyway, so you know what he did? And we should repost this on our page so people can freak out. Lucy Lopez responded to him.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. So he gets a cafetera and he puts in the Cuban, he puts in el café.
Okay.
And then he puts brown sugar on top of it.
Brown sugar in it from the beginning?
In it. And he puts it in the machine.
But then how are you going to get la espumita?
That's not Cuban coffee. That's
Eso es un invento.
Right. But he's like, oh, today we're going to try Café Cubano. And I'm like, this appropriation bullshit needs to stop. Like, I mean, he's putting brown sugar on... No, but he's mixing
it's like a little...
with the coffee, and then he's putting it in the
Like
machine.
he's making it all together.
Right. It's not like, he added brown sugar at the end instead of regular...
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you get la espumita? It's just weird. I don't like it.
So, what's his name? Golden Brown...
Eso es lo que pasa when you don't use Café La Llave.
Yes. Café La Llave needs to show them a thing.
Needs to show them a thing or three, yes.
Be like, we do not add brown sugar to coffee and then put it in the machine.
But okay, who heard of that?
I don't know.
Also, you know what I'm thinking now?
These are the same people that probably think that Cuban food is spicy.
Oh, don't get me down that road. But I'm thinking now, like, how would you even do that in la cafetera?
No,
because he didn't do it in la cafetera. He did it in la máquina. So I'm thinking...
He didn't do it in la cafetera. He did it in la máquina,
I'm thinking no, because I'm thinking like in la cafetera, like you have to put the coffee all the way to the top and then level it off. So you would have to like make space for the sugar, so you can't level. You know what? I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it for many reasons.
I don't like it. And you don't even drink coffee and you don't like it.
I got offended and I don't even drink coffee, so.
Now that you said the thing of la máquina, la cafetera, the other day, my mom made some salsa de tomate, and all I could think of was like salsa de tomate and tomato sauce are not the same thing.
No.
At all.
No, puré de tomate is gross.
It's not the same thing at all.
No, it's like, to me, that's one of the reasons why growing up I didn't care so much for Cuban food. It's like they're making a perfectly good dish, and there my grandmother would come out con la lata de puré de tomate and just pour it in, and I'm like, oh, you just ruined
And yet
it.
we love tomato sauce.
Oh, no, I eat tomato sauce by the
We could eat
spoonful.
marinara all day long.
Oh
But
my
no.
God, that Rails,
Eh?
like Rails New York City, they have their own
Yeah.
sauce. Oh my God, give me that in a spoon and I'm good.
You're good.
So,
Oh my God, I feel like I've been drinking out of this bucket for like an hour.
wow, and there's still some left. Are you okay there?
I'm good. I just got I gotta keep chugging along.
Good. Anyway, are you? Well, I was gonna say, are you thirsty? Because
Well, if I'm thirsty, it's not for lack of trying, because God knows I've been drinking this bucket of Jupiña lit slushie for like an hour.
you're hydrated.
I don't know about hydrated because it's got vodka in it, but I'm happy. We'll go with that. I'm happy.
All right. You wanna do our last soda?
So let's do a last soda, but for the last soda, I want to go first. The reason I want to go first is because I'm going to give my last soda to a listener of ours.
Sure.
And the reason I'm going to give it to a listener of ours by the name of Mercedes Ibarra is because she heard one of our last episodes where we were talking about Celia Cruz and mimes and all these other things, and she sent us an email with a story that incorporates Celia Cruz, racism, and mimes.
Oh,
And so I am now going to read the email from Mercedes Ibarra.
wow.
Okay. So she says, hi, DJ Nish. Here's a story I teased in the DMs. She says, so I'm a flamenco dancer and teacher, and because of this, I'm a teaching artist for several arts organizations in Los Angeles and Orange County. One of these...
I'm gonna have a croqueta while you say the
Absolutely. You should have two. Okay,
Dos.
dos croquetas, yeah. One of these organizations has been holding training meetings around diversity, equity, and inclusion. In one such meeting, the topic was specifically about teaching and talking about cultural art forms with young students. At one point, we were separated into groups, and each group was assigned a video regarding a specific artist or art form to discuss. My group was assigned this performance by Celia Cruz at the Latin Grammys, and she sent us the link. So, my group consisted of a black woman who's a playwright,
Okay.
a straight white couple in their late 50s who happened to be, yes, mimes, and me, the Cuban flamenca.
When do you meet a couple that's a mime? Mimes.
How did they meet? They couldn't talk.
Is mime? Is that the correct plural
Mimes.
form? Mimes?
Yeah, it's just plural. It's just an S.
Okay.
Yeah, because one mime, multiple mimes. After watching the video together, the black woman started talking about what she enjoyed about the video and how much she just loves Celia Cruz in general. The white woman said she enjoyed the energy of the performance and how colorful it was. Then, the white man, skinny, bearded, with wire-rimmed glasses, somewhat frowning with both his arms and legs crossed. I mean, that man was like a pretzel. Well, I didn't like it. Okay, I can accept that. So he doesn't like Celia Cruz. Our collective curiosity was piqued, though. My black colleague asks him, what didn't you like about it? He proceeds, well, I prefer seeing that kind of music performed in its own element. I braced myself and asked, what do you mean by its own element? He responds matter-of-factly, you know, a village or a park, maybe a small theater. Muchacho, I had to contain La Cubana that was rising up, blood boiling at that moment. Its own element, a village? Pero ¿quién se cree este? I could also see the look on the black woman's face, and knew she was reacting the same way. I took an even deeper breath, and I proceeded, well, I'm Cuban, and went on to explain Celia's history, trajectory, and place in world music. I explained how her element was actually the big stage like that one, that she has always been a big band singer, how she and La Sonora Matancera were exiled from Cuba while on a world tour, how she's actually from La Habana, a city, not a village, how salsa is actually a product of New York City, and so on and so forth. When we had to get back to the larger conversation, my black colleague thanked me for giving us such a rich history lesson about Celia Cruz. The white woman gave a polite thank you, and the white man kept scowling, never having shifted his position from the crossed legs and arms. It was surreal. So anyway, I thought of both of you when this happened, and then when Ish mentioned that he'd be up for any story about Celia Cruz in that one interview episode, and then both of you started talking about mimes in the most recent episode, I knew I had to tell you about it. By the way,
people really do listen.
They do listen. By the way, as for mimes, I actually have seen a mime performance on stage before. The mime, in regular clothes, did a whole telling of the life story of one of miming's legends. Yes, there's such a person.
The French guy.
Sure, Marcel Marceau.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He died a few years ago. He was like a legend, yeah.
From birth to death, it was done to music. It was a revelation. I had no idea miming was like a whole thing. I have also learned from a Spanish friend who was studying clowning that when you train to be a clown, you must, quote unquote, enter the clown. I just thought you'd like to know that. That's it. Thanks for making my Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays so much fun. You're awesome, and I still give you my last soda in the desert. So thank you very, very much.
That's a great
Mercedes.
story. Thank you for sharing that with us. I have a lot of questions.
Well, she's listening. We know she listens.
First off, okay, so Celia Cruz does salsa music.
Right.
Has this person never heard salsa music?
I think the only salsa this person, based on her description, knows comes in a platter with chips.
Called paste.
Right, Tostitos. Yeah.
I mean, because, even if you're not familiar with her, I would like to think that you've heard some remnants of salsa music.
Whether you know it or not.
Right.
I
mean, and salsa music is very instrumental. There's like a whole percussion area,
right.
So it's not, the very
it's not like reggaeton.
But even reggaeton has a lot of different beats and musical elements to it. But it's like clearly he had not heard this before.
No.
Well, I wonder what footage of her he saw.
I'll show you the video.
Was it like the blue wig,
I probably.
Right. But that was at the Grammys.
Doesn't matter.
So,
there's a lot to unpack there. And then, like you said, it was a couple, and they were mimes.
Yeah, that story really threw a curveball at the mimes. I always say, what's funnier than a mime pretending to be in a box?
An actual mime in a box.
Yeah. Wow, that's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing. Like, I feel like my last soda is so insignificant now.
Well, you're going to have to measure up to Celia Cruz and mimes.
Yeah,
good luck.
I was just going to give my last soda to Ellen. It's her last week. And
this is her last week?
Yeah, she has, I think, 7 episodes left or 6 episodes
left.
Oh,
wow.
She already filmed the last episode. And, thank you for the good times. I'm going to miss her show. I think that she's such a positive energy. Obviously, she's I guess you could say a TV icon.
At this point, she's been here for 14 years?
She broke down a lot of, opened a lot of doors and
barriers,
all that.
For sure.
But just her show's like a very feel-good show, and she does a lot of good things for a lot of people. And, it's a shame that, look, I guess she's leaving on her terms, which is good. I still believe that it probably has something to do with, like, the whole...
Well, she got tired of...
...controversy a couple of years ago, and she probably was like, I'm done with this. But the point is that, she's, like, a very positive person.
Yeah,
she tries to be a positive person, at least on the show, and,
Yeah.
What I would like to think is that now that she's moving out, Kelly Clarkson is taking her...
Well, she is. Kelly Clarkson is taking her time slot in several major markets. So now I wonder who's taking Kelly's slot.
Because Kelly Clarkson is awesome. Like, you could watch karaoke,
She's good. She gives me nice feelings.
Kelly Clarkson?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Kelly Clarkson. She
looks like she would enjoy these chicharrones.
She's so, like, really... You could tell she really is legitimately... like down to earth and just doesn't really care. She'd be one of those people that, like, if you hear somebody that knew her and said she was like a total maniac, like a bitch, I'd be like, oh no, not Kelly Clarkson. Like, not her, because she really seems like just like, I don't care, y'all. I'm from Texas. Like,
Again, I could see her eating chicharrones here with us.
I'll never forget that when she was on American Idol, she said that like right before auditioning to American Idol, her job was driving the Red Bull Mini Cooper.
Oh, I thought she was a waitress.
Well, maybe she was, but I remember the Red Bull Mini Cooper story. So it's like, man, that's quite a 180.
Come a long way, baby.
Yeah. So anyway, well, Ellen, have some refreshment.
Have some refreshment. She can afford it.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that was our. I think this is our. This is our first live episode. I was gonna say
In a while.
Well, remember, now every time we talk about something, it's like, okay, was this before COVID? So it was 2 years ago. Because those like
Easily.
those 2 years are like mushy,
They're fuzzy. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
when I think of something I did in 2019, I'm like, wasn't that the other day? It's like, oh no, there's a pandemic in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, so
Damn Corona.
actually, I don't think I had been here.
Really?
I think no, we were here in Christmas.
We were here for Christmas. No, that's right. Duh. Yeah.
But before we were here for Christmas,
And there are people here who will.
No, but before we were here for Christmas, I don't think we had been here until I think it was like 2 weeks before the pandemic that we came with Seth and Marcela and all that.
That's right, late
That
night.
was like right before, the world took a turn.
The world
for
ended.
the worse, So, what is it we always say? That the Super Bowl, Jennifer Lopez.
It was the closing ceremonies
was
of the
the
world.
closing
that year.
ceremonies of the world. I mean, if it's gonna go out, let it be J-Lo and Shakira, right? So anyway, okay, everybody.
Better
that
that
was,
than Steely Dan.
that was our first live episode in a while. Thank you again to the Croqueta for hosting us today.
Yes.
It's been great. You guys are always awesome. If you are in Miami, please stop by the Croquetas. They have delicious croquetas. They have all types of flavors. I will tell you this. I generally hate buffalo sauce. Like, I do not like buffalo sauce at all. And their buffalo croqueta is
the buffalo chicken?
Literally like fire. I love it. And I don't even like buffalo sauce, so it's that good. So they really are that good, and they have a bunch of like shakes and
The shakes are
drinks
really
and all
good,
that.
too.
So there's something for everybody. So thank you guys, as always, for joining us. We hope you listen, laugh, and learn. And as always, grab your croqueta.
Yeah, multiples. Grab dos croquetas. Grab
your
dos.
pastelito, and not that Cuban coffee we were talking about.
No.
And thank you for joining us.
Yes, and
so
thank
much.
everybody here who came out.
And thank you
you so much.
And thank you so much.
Thank you, Giraldo,
Yes,
for coming out.
for coming from New Jersey.
From New Jersey.
From New Jersey to come in and hang out with us.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, people. He came from New Jersey, so you know. So
But
thank
let
you
me
again,
tell
everybody.
you, bringing people together.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, cuídense.
Bye.
Bye.
Pero Let Me Tell You is co-hosted by Darian Borges and Ismaeliano, produced by Ismaeliano, and our theme, Pero Let Me Tell You Freestyle, is composed by Michael Angelo Lamleplex, the official gay guy. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes.